Well, hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about the 3 essential elements of a good Qigong practice. Now, if you're not familiar with it, Qigong is an exercise very similar in appearance to Tai Chi, but it's easier to learn and it's easier to get the health benefits out of it. Tai Chi, as you probably know, is very slow moving, very gentle on the body, but it's originally a martial art. Now that's great, and it just happens to be good for the body. Qigong is much older, and it's designed specifically for your health. So many times people are practicing Qigong to help increase your energy, reduce their stress, reduce pain that might be acute, or it might be from chronic pain that's been around for years. And Qigong is one of the most wonderful exercises that we can learn and practice in the comfort of our own home. And as long as you have space around you, that's all the space that you need to be able to practice. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 essential elements that you need for a good Qigong practice. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Jeff. I'm an acupuncturist, practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine, and Qigong instructor. I've been practicing and teaching Qigong for several years, and I've had the fortune of working with men, with women, with young, with old, with people with a lot of different health conditions, and people who are healthy. And I really find Qigong to be one of the most amazing exercises you can do to help build your health. And I find building our health is kind of like building a house. We have all sorts of different types of tools. We don't have just one tool. We don't just have a hammer to build a house. We have several different tools that we need in order to build this house. And Qigong is just one of them. So it doesn't mean that just because you practice Qigong, you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to eat properly. You don't need to see your doctor. You do need all those elements. This aspect is just one of them. So if you have a chance, this is the first live stream that I've ever done on Facebook. And if you have a chance, can you please just leave a comment as to where you are, where you're watching from, and just let me know. If you're not familiar with this, Facebook Live actually responds really well to people making little comments. So if you have any ideas, any comments, anything that you like or dislike, please feel free to let me know. Well, actually, don't tell me about things you don't like. Just tell me about things that you like. Okay, so just please just let me know where you are, and I'd love to figure out maybe an ideal time to be able to do more of these live streams if it's something that you're interested in. Okay, so everybody on Facebook here, I noticed they're really good with technology, and they have all the late, the lower thirds that go by, and little things graphical and all that looks very impressive. So for me, for my visual aids, I have a chalkboard here. So, and it's very high tech. I've covered it up, and we're going to talk about the 3 essential elements here. Okay, so just a little bit more about Qigong. There are many different styles of Qigong. I think there's probably hundreds. Some would even suggest that there are thousands of different styles. Now, I don't know for certain how many there are, but I know that there are broadly 3 different styles of Qigong practice. So the first would be martial arts preparation. So this is a little bit more vigorous type of practice. It was traditionally used before learning martial arts to be able to strengthen and toughen up the body. It tends to be a little bit more physical. It's a lot harder work on the body. It's still gentle, but it's definitely more focused on building up the strength in the body. Now, the second type of Qigong practice would be considered to be medical. So this is a very broad term. If you Google or look up medical Qigong, you'll find institutes and associations, and so some people they sort of have patented that term. But basically, if you think about Qigong for health and wellness, that would be medical. Within that, there's the Qigong that will help yourself, and then there's also the style that can help other people, which would be Qigong healing. So the third type of Qigong practice would be more for spiritual purposes. So this could be for enlightenment, for calming and clearing your mind, for encouraging a state of tranquility, and traditionally it could be connected with Buddhist practices or Taoist practices. Quite often the Qigong practices are very similar on the surface, but quite different underneath. So those are the 3 types of practices. That again was the martial arts preparation, and then you have the health and medical, and then you have the spiritual. So generally what I'm speaking about here and what I encourage on in qigongforvitality.com is medical. So it's just to help you feel stronger, healthier, and more vibrant. Okay, so within those three different styles, all of them need these three elements. I keep building it up here, just trying to build suspense. So you need these three elements. And it's not in any particular order, but it is a little bit, but it's more about getting all three elements together. If you're missing one of these elements, then it may be that you're just doing light exercise. Light exercise is totally fine, but if you want to get the real benefit of Qigong, you need to get all these three elements all at the same time. Okay, fancy high-tech time here. The first element of the three elements of Qigong practice is movement. We have to have proper movement. I'll just set that down here. So within Qigong practice, you're moving your body very gently. So with movements can be defined as being either linear or circular. So if linear would be stop, start, stop, start. So that can be a little, that's fine to do, but that can be a little bit hard on the joints. Circular movements, there's no beginning, there's no end. You keep moving, and that's very gentle on the joints. So within movement, we have to have essential movement principles within a good Qigong practice. There's quite a few different things that we can talk about within movement, but I'll just mention a few of them. We have to have good posture. Everything has to be lined up correctly. Now, if you speak to a physical therapist or a physiotherapist, they'll talk about a certain kind of posture. If you speak to a dancer, they'll describe another kind of posture. Within Qigong, there's another set of rules for posture. And generally, we want to work with the nature of our body. So our body has evolved over millions of years to be the way it is as it is right now. And so some things that we try to do, like straightening up our posture, standing up straight, wearing shoes, this is very new to our body. And so if you are fighting against our nature, then that's not ideal. So Qigong aims to just try to find this balance in posture that's natural. This is something that you can observe in natural athletes, like people who are very good at something and they feel like they're just moving so gracefully. They've probably unconsciously figured out all these little aspects of having good posture. Now, posture is one thing. Then we have alignment. Alignment is another sort of idea. Then we have range of motion. So range of motion is how our joints move. So we should have a good range of motion. Naturally, over time, we lose range of motion. So Qigong helps to, this first element of movement aims to kind of improve our range of motion. Then we have flexibility. Flexibility is the movement through our muscles. And hello, Marie Frost. Thank you for your comment. We have flexibility, which is range of motion throughout our muscles. So when we combine range of motion throughout our joints and range of motion throughout our muscles, then that's when we start to find strength. So again, movement is the first element of a good Qigong practice. So balance is another aspect that's within movement. How do we feel balanced within our body physically? And we also want to be able to build strength too. But you can't avoid it. We need to keep strong as we age throughout life. If we live in a very sedentary type of way, we're going to lose strength over time, and particularly in our legs and in our core. We want to maintain that as much as we can. So any Qigong practice, no matter which of the three that I mentioned, if it's going to be effective, it's going to have to focus on good quality movement. All right? That was number one. So the next aspect of the essential element, the three essential elements of a good Qigong practice is, under door number 2 here, is breathing. So we need to have good movement and good breath. So what does that mean? Now, there are a lot of different types of breathing that we can practice. You can look at the yogic traditions, you can look at Zen traditions, and there's a lot of different styles of breathing. But at first, we just want to breathe. Just breathe naturally. I was just doing some reading recently about the lungs and how they work. And the lungs actually contain, the total volume of the lungs is between 4 to 6 liters. So if you imagine like a milk jug that's 4 liters, like that's how much air our lungs contain. But in a single breath, we are taking about 500 milliliters of breath, moving in and out. So, that's very small. That's like, I think that's 2 cups. So 2 cups versus the 4 to 6 liters. So if we don't do any activity, if we don't strain our cardiovascular system, and if we don't do breathing exercises, then we just move a little bit of air in our upper parts of our lungs. So Qigong practice, the first step of a good breath is just breathe deeply, breathe naturally. You don't have to force it, you don't have to control it, you don't have to envision it in any sort of way, just breathe naturally. So breath. First aspect is movement. Second aspect is breath. Now over time, you can improve and do more advanced type of breathing exercises. Now this can involve envisioning breathing into certain parts of the body, or slowing down your breath. So you're breathing in and imagining that it's expanding. There's a lot of things that can be done with the breath, but I would encourage you to just, don't jump ahead too fast. Just breathe naturally for 15 minutes or 20 minutes of a Qigong practice. Just keep breathing. It'll be, your body will thank you. You'll feel more energy. You'll feel more vitality in your system. Your body is meant to breathe, so go ahead and just practice that. Okay, that's movement and breath. And the third element here, it's very mysterious behind this this door here. And again, before I reveal the last aspect, please do feel free to like and share this video, give it a little thumbs up. I see Karen has made a little comment. Thank you very much, because it does help this channel and what we're doing to grow. As I've mentioned before, I really do love Qigong practice. I think it can do so much. And if we just practice these simple exercises and let people know about it, I think we can save ourselves a lot of suffering in the future as we age, but also save the system a lot of resources by just being healthy. Okay, last element here, proper movement, number 1, proper breath, number 2, and number 3 is, it's intention. We have to have good intention during Qigong practice. Now, intention is something that we can think and talk a lot about in order to understand, because intention to you, to somebody else, to person number 3, to me, might mean something different. But basically, the Qi, the energy, follows where the mind goes. If you think about your left hand and just think about it, just think about it, that's it. You'll actually be able to warm it up just by thinking about it. This is not woo-woo, this is not magical, this is called biofeedback. It's scientific, and you can just play around and practice with this. But the Qi will follow where the mind goes. So if you're doing some sort of Qigong exercise and you're really focused on breathing in, taking in the energy in through your hands, in through your nose, down into your lower dantian, if you're imagining all that, the Qi will follow that naturally. But if you're also doing Qigong and you're thinking, what should I have for dinner tonight? Or did I turn off the stove? Then that's where the Qi goes. So it doesn't actually have as much benefit for your Qigong practice. Somebody was telling me recently that she was practicing Qigong. She started off in a workshop. She learned the basics. She loved it. She felt really good. And she went home and she was practicing and getting better at it. And after a while, she became very familiar with the whole idea and the structure of it. And so she was getting maybe a little bit bored of her own practice. And so she started thinking, well, maybe I'll just put on some music. And so she put on some music, and then actually maybe I'll just catch up on a TV show that I missed last week. And so she started watching TV as she was practicing. And so she found over time that the effectivity of her Qigong practice was decreasing. And it's because she wasn't really being present and having any intention during her Qigong practice. So when I try to teach classes and make the videos for Qigong practice, I'm always trying to give your mind something to focus on. Breathe in through the nose, imagine you're taking in the Qi into your lower belly. breathe out, try to let go of any tension and stress that's in the shoulders, the arms, or in the head. All this intention really makes a big difference. This aspect of intention during Qigong practice can start to sound a little bit woo-woo again, but I think science is actually catching up on this. And if you sit with it and think about what is your intention throughout your day, when you're breathing, what is your intention? I think it does make a difference to what your body will do. If you're intending on healing your body, feeling energetic, feeling happy, feeling healthy, feeling creativity, feeling engaged with the world, then I think that's where your Qi will follow. If you feel like, what's that guy from Winnie the Pooh, the donkey, Eeyore? If you feel like Eeyore and you're sad and you're negative and don't like the world, don't like what you're seeing around you, well, that's what your Qi is going to do. So these three elements are just absolutely essential for a good Qigong practice. Whether you're doing the medical, the spiritual, the martial arts preparation, whether you're doing an old form like the 8 brocades, or if you're working on the 5 animals, it doesn't really matter. You want to have good movement, good breath, and good clear intention. So let me know, have you practiced Qigong yet? And have you been incorporating these elements into your Qigong practice? If you have, that's great. If you haven't, then I would definitely encourage you to give it a try and just every time you do an exercise, bring yourself back to your body. What is your body doing? Your breath. What is your breath doing? Are you breathing? And your mind. How are you focusing your intention? All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the little comments. And again, please let me know in the comment section where you're from, what you'd like to know more of. And if you'd like to learn more about Qigong and practice with the videos that we have here, come visit us at qigongforvitality.com. I'll try to leave a link in the description below. Let me just high-tech number 2 here. qigongforvitality.com. So here, this is an online library of many different Qigong videos. We have some that are for the absolute beginners, and some that are for a little bit more advanced, and some that are for specific health conditions, and then the classical type of practices. And we're always adding to this library. So we have many different videos right now. And currently, we're just still working, the editing chipmunks are still working on it, but we're working on a new program that's called the 30 Days of Qigong. It's 30 days of 30 different routines of different styles for different purposes. So that's not, at the time of this video right now, it's not released, but it will be coming up soon. So if you'd like, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can sign up for a newsletter and you can be notified when that's up and running. And if not, you can just like this page, and we have a YouTube channel as well, and I'll leave the description for that as well. So please just follow us. Let me know what you think. Thank you again so much for watching, and I don't think anything exploded on this first Facebook live stream, and we'll see you again. Thanks for watching.